Expenses in the Philippines compared to the United States of America. What's that? Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody is well and doing good. This video is going to be expenses here compared to the Philippines. We all know that the Philippines is the cheapest place to live. Probably one of the cheapest places to live in the world. You can live there cheaply. And you can survive there fine. And you can make a good life there. On the other side of the fence, you can do the same here. And can you live inexpensively here in the States for the same amount of money that you're spending in the Philippines? Yes, you can. And I'll tell you the reason and how you do it. You have to change your lifestyle here. You have to completely change your lifestyle. And what I mean by that is if you're used to having certain things a certain way there in the Philippines, you may not find it the same here. And it's vice versa. Food is cheaper here automatically. There's just no doubt about it. Food is cheaper. I can go to the farmer's market and I can buy just about anything, even fresh quality, right out of the ground, cheaper. Of course I can. You can take a place like Aldi, for an example, a supermarket chain, Aldi. Their produce, in a lot of cases, is in fact, I have some videos on that, for oranges. A big bag of 3-pound oranges is 150 peso, which is $3. And the quality is 100% compared to the Philippines. They don't have them. They have the kiosks, the little tangerines, and you can buy those here inexpensive, where they're $3 or $2 to $3 a bag there. But I am living in Florida, and that makes a difference. The food situation, yeah, you can buy it right, prepackage it, and save a lot of money. Electricity is cheaper here than it is in the Philippines. The cost of electricity here is really cheap. It's like 20 cents per kilowatt compared to the Philippines. We're looking at 40, 45. Ruth said the bill just went up again. And I don't even use kilowatt a day there. But here it's just cheaper. Cost of living itself depends how you live here. If you have your house paid for and everything, you're fine. If you don't have your house paid for, but where the problem it gets involved is your taxes, household taxes, and taxes in general. If you're living up your state tax, your property tax, that's what'll get you the most, because some guys are paying $800 or $1,000 a month in property taxes. Some are paying a lot more than that. Some are paying less. That has gone up considerably. If you live off grid, it's really the only way that you're going to survive the cost here, as far as things of that nature, or your house is paid for, or things like that. If your house is paid for and you're in a low tax, property tax situation, you're going to live pretty cheap. You can live here pretty cheap. I noticed because my brother is living in Tennessee, and his taxes are nothing, and his electricity is nothing because they have TVA. I mean, he's living there as cheaper than I live in the States. I mean, in the Philippines. So his household income and what he makes, and his expenditures going out, is nothing. It's probably less than, including his property taxes, less than $800 a month, food and taxes. His car insurance is basically the same as what I was paying there in the States. He has a plan, and even my insurance here, I'm paying less than it's 4,000 peso, $80, $85 a month, full coverage. On me, full coverage if I hit somebody, meaning the medical and stuff's included, the repair of their car, collision. You can actually also, I noticed here, and living cheaply here, is fuel is cheaper here. You have to shop for it. They had fuel less $2.89 the other day. Costco, and I think the other one, BJ's, had it cheaper than that. So they're having the price wars here right now. It was $3.49, $3.59 per gallon. But if you're living in the South, in Georgia, which you can retire to Georgia pretty cheaply there, it was running $2.47, $2.37 a gallon when I was driving through there 2 weeks ago. So I went to visit my brother. I went back up into Georgia and visit friends. So you can actually, gas is cheaper, food is cheaper. The only thing that's going to get you is your living situation. So people tell me that you can't live here. Well, I got news for you. You can live here cheap. You just have to, and I'm not talking living in an RV like I do. You have to have your house paid for, or you have to buy you something with a piece of land. What a lot of people are doing is they're buying the land, small lots now. They have what they call RV lots, tiny home lots. You can buy a lot depending on where it's at. For an example, a guy bought a lot the other day. It was $16,000, and he put a tiny house on it. He was going to put his RV on it, decided to put a tiny house on it. It's a 2-story house, a little over 530 square feet. It has a small half bath down, a full bath and a half bath up. And it's enough for him and his wife. So there are ways that you can live here cheaply here. And the property taxes are $86 a year, where he's at presently. He said, "Can I pay this in tax?" I went with him down there. "Can I pay this tax now?" And she goes, "Yeah, you can pay it now." For the year? Yeah, you can pay it now for the year. So there are places that you can do that. Now I only know about Florida and parts of Georgia and Tennessee, where my brother lives. Now my brother lives on the west side of Tennessee, towards Jacksonville, and that area, Jackson. And you can live really cheap there. I mean, I was looking at some places up there. Even my brother has a small house. I was thinking about renting from him, and it's cheap. And I have one of my subscribers has a house up there. He's renting for $5. He said he rented to me for $5. So you guys know Phillies to Phoenix, John. So there are cheap ways of living, and the only thing I forgot if John told me it was included electricity, but even if it's not, it's still inexpensive, $500, and then the electricity, and then whatever else, and it's a full 100% apartment. Now there are apartments that are going for $2,000, $3,000 here, believe it or not, in Daytona and here in Orlando, that people are paying $3,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, which I would never pay for in a million years. If you're going to put a first last security deposit, why don't you just put it on a tiny home, or first last security deposit, put it on an RV, or first last security, put it on something else. I mean, geez, that's a lot of money, $6,000 to put down on a one-bedroom apartment. You're going to throw away the money. So basically, that's what you're doing. You're throwing away the money. But I foresee there are still many opportunities here. It may change after the election, but I see many opportunities here. There are guys making bukus of money doing different things. I do want to say this. Amazon right now is hiring $25 an hour. They just built a beautiful center. I just saw it this morning in Deltona, Florida. The thing is huge. It's probably on each side of the road. It's probably 2 or 3 football fields on this side, and probably 4 or 5 football fields on that side, maybe bigger. It is the biggest facility I've ever seen in my life, and I've been in a lot of them, coming from the food industry. So I was talking with the Amazon representative today. I brought him from the airport there, and he needed to walk through the facility and tell them what, pros and cons, whatever, and give them their construction list on what they needed to fix. But he was telling me starting pay is going to be $25. If you're a truck driver, driving trucks, going to be more than that. If you're a delivery guy, they're going to start them out at 27. 27. You have to deliver 350 packages a day. The also the facility itself is going to employ more than 3,000 employees. So, and they look to hire more than that in peak times. A lot of part-timers, and every one of these employees is going to be full-time. So there's just, I see it booming all over the place like that. Now, will it fall? Maybe. And people always say it's falling and falling, but from what I can see sitting right here, it's not falling. The manager at McDonald's was telling me they're starting some of the girls now at 15, 16 an hour so they can keep them. So they have posted 17 an hour on all their doors, but they don't pay anybody $17 an hour. At least $15, $16 an hour to start. Some areas in Georgia they only still paying them like 12, 13 bucks an hour. In Tennessee the same. Because I asked. That's how I learned. I asked. I just come right out and ask. Even I took, when they had NASCAR, I asked the lady that was worked for NASCAR itself, and I asked her many questions about NASCAR and payment plan, how do you get a job, not for me, but for other people that I know want a job at NASCAR, working the track. There's many jobs, as you guys know. And being in Daytona, sometimes you see opportunities. So I just ask, because I take them to the airport. I pick them up from the Hilton and I take them to the airport. Or, and drivers, a lot of times, even I picked up a couple of drivers. They were low-end drivers that was running, not NASCAR, but running some of the dirt tracks around. And they were telling me that NASCAR this year is going to be one of the biggest, best years they've ever had. And I can see it. If you could tell, I don't know what the indications are, but I can tell there's a lot of people there. So I do see a lot of things, and you can live cheaply here. And the economy right now seems pretty strong. Although I can see also in other parts, and even on TV, but a lot of that is false. A lot of what you see on TV is false. Here's an example. I saw on TV, they said McDonald's was shut down because of IT issues. And all the McDonald's worldwide was shut down. Now, really? And I'm sitting in McDonald's as I'm listening to this. So I brought the manager over and I says, what's up with this? She goes, this is a lie. She says, it's not shut down here in Florida. I don't, hold on, it's just called the DM and says, no, everything's working fine. It's all a lie. It was right on TV. It was on ABC. So what you hear is not always the truth. And that's what really makes me mad. So, but my point is this, you can live in the States inexpensively. And it's still going to cost you money no matter what you do, no matter where it is. Right now, you can buy a used car here cheaper here than you can in the Philippines, only because it's not available, right? Used cars. It's all either new and the used ones are wore out. They keep them until they're just wore out. So here you can buy a good used car, even 10 years old or 20 years old, you buy a good used one. My friend just bought a good used car, 20 years old, and it's working fine for him, he's telling me. So, and he's doing the same thing I'm doing. So, but I wanted to talk about cost. What are my costs? Really, they're low because it's just me. I don't have a house. I'm staying with a friend of mine. I give them a little bit of money for my time that I'm there. But most of the time I'm out. I'm out a lot, like 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And so if I'm there, if I even stop there, a lot of times I just take a nap here in a car, 2, 3, 4 hours, and start up again. And so it gives availability, and it's fine. And you can take a shower anywhere. There's 1,000 places I can take a shower. So, and hot shower, I'm talking nice. You can just join a fitness center and take a shower. So I joined those, and I can go anywhere pretty well and take a shower. So, okay, I'm gonna let this guy go, but no, traffic's not gonna let him. bunch of goofballs. Poor guy. But so that's updates. Living in the Philippines compared to U.S. There is a big difference. And I'm looking for a used RV, cheap, but not too cheap. Meaning I don't want junk for my girls. So I'm down here in Cimarron Boulevard in Orlando, Florida. Actually heading to Altamont Springs, Florida, Longwood, Altamont Springs. It's a beautiful area, beautiful place, a lot of activity, a lot of people working, keeping busy, you know. So I'll talk to you guys next time on Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. God bless everybody.